Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of WP the Podcast. I'm David Blackman.
And I'm Tim Streifler.
Today, in episode 684, we're going to talk about how to make sure Google indexes your WordPress website. This is insanely important. Most people think, hey, I bought a domain, I got a host. Now the world's going to flock to your website. And guess what? It just doesn't happen like that. There are so many things that go into getting your website found. We're not going to cover all those today. However, we are going to cover what it takes initially to get your site indexed on the search engines. Tim, you want to start?
Yeah, absolutely. So I will say that Google is really good at finding sites and indexing. So chances are, if you do not do these steps, eventually Google will find your site and index it and stuff. But why do you want to wait? There's no reason not to do these things. It's super easy. The first one is you want to create a sitemap. A sitemap is basically it's a list of all the pages on your site. And so you can use Yoast if you're using the Yoast SEO plugin. And I could be wrong, but I think WordPress actually now automatically generates a sitemap for you built into WordPress core. So you might not need to use it in an SEO plugin. But since I'm already using Yoast, I just use the sitemap that it generates. And so it's really handy. And so basically, if you have different parts to your site, like custom post types and stuff, it'll create multiple sitemaps. So it'll have a page sitemap, it'll have a post sitemap, it'll have a custom post type sitemap. So if you have like a recipe site, all your recipes will be on a sitemap. And then Dave's going to tell you what you do once you have that sitemap.
I am. Wow. Okay. I'm just kidding. Yeah. Once you get your sitemap created, you're going to want to submit this to Google Search Console. Super easy. Create an account with Google Search Console. If you're not already using Gmail G Suites as your email account for your website. If you're not, we highly recommend going that route as opposed to hosting or having an email account with your hosting provider, because it just ties all of your Google stuff together, analytics, console, the whole 9 yards. So simply go over to Google Search Console and submit the sitemap. And guess what? That's it. You're done.
Yeah.
It's pretty easy, straightforward, nothing to it. Now, like we said, there's a ton more that goes into getting your site ranked as opposed to just indexed. If you can imagine, there are billions of websites in the world, and getting found in those billions of websites, there's some things that you have to do, but this is an important step, and it's step one. And like Tim said, you don't necessarily have to do it. Google will still find you. However, why would you want to wait? So
yeah. And then even beyond like ranking for keywords, it still takes some time for Google to start showing your website. Like, so say you Google your exact domain, right? Well, you should be the top one up there, right? If you're Googling your domain, but it can take a little bit of time. And that's by design. Google wants to make sure, is this a real site? Are they sticking around before we start showing them in the search engines and directing traffic their way? And so people think that like, oh, you submit your sitemap, like all of a sudden you're going to start getting a ton of traffic from Google. It's not that easy. As David mentioned, ranking for keywords is hard, but it takes just a little bit of time as well, even aside from all the competitiveness of ranking for popular keywords and stuff like that. Google they're going to take their time. That's the bottom line.
Yeah. Tomorrow we've got another great topic, how to add Google Analytics to your website, which is another very important Google product. So come and listen, check us out, watch it on YouTube. If you're listening to this podcast on Spotify or Apple or any of the places, Tim and I have now started publishing our, video side of this as well. So if you want to see our beautiful faces, come leave us a comment over there and see how we record this podcast as we're doing it. Come on over and subscribe to our channel, like it, hit the algorithm so we can get found by more WordPress users and stuff. So anyways, Tim, until tomorrow, we'll see you then.
Take care. Bye-bye.